What's good, Ethereans and co-creators? How y'all elevating today? Welcome to the channel. Come on in here. Take them shoes off, ground. If this is your first time seeing me, I am Monica, and this is Muse by Monica. On this channel, I talk about alchemizing your pain into your greatest power, getting into your shadows, getting deep into your shadows, and transmuting and alchemizing that shit. So, welcome back. We're going to get into a video today about Lilith. Another video about Lilith, but more so about your shadows and your shadow initiation. There comes a time in certain women's life where you are sent into, led into, you choose to, are guided into what is known as your shadow initiation, which is a period where you must integrate yourself with who you once were, with who you are now becoming, and also incorporating the energies, the lessons of your experiences, and paying homage and offering yourself as a vessel to those before you, okay? So, with this energy, there comes a point in her life where you stop performing and you start remembering. You start remembering who it is that you really are, why it is you do or you've decided to stand on certain principles, boundaries, resistance, rebellion. It seems like it's a moment, a breaking, a rising. It's something happens, it's a shift, and everything changes. This is your shadow initiation. So typically, your initiation is going to initiate with your shadows. Your initiation into your lineage of priestess, shaman, oracle, vessel for the remembrance of the past. This is going to come when you are in your deepest of awakenings. This is going to come when you are in your deepest of shadows, when you are the most triggered, when you are the most vulnerable, receiving, ready. This isn't going to be like all love and light and rainbows. The experiences are not going to be anything which you thought they were going to be. They're not going to have anything to do with that fairy tale illusion kind of energy. This is going to be a descent into your truest, most authentic, hidden self, the part of yourself where the fears are self-exposed and you really get into who you are. You remember who you are and where you came from. Now, with this placement, Lilith in Capricorn in the 8th house specifically, if you have these placements or if you even have any of these 8th house, Capricorn, Scorpio energy, 10th house in your chart, this could resonate with you, okay? But this specifically, this is initiation into, like I said, your deepest shadows, okay? It's going to invite you to escape. It's gonna invite you to go deeper. It's gonna invite you to go deeper into the depths of you. All right. 8th house is definitely about the depths, getting deep, the death, allowing things to die. Right. So with this energy, things are gonna be stripped away. The illusions of control, security, status, all of it's going to fall, all of it's going to be exposed here, right? And then you're going to have to be left standing there exposed and naked and at your most vulnerable. It's going to be you holding on to your own truth. It's going to be you initiating or lighting your own path. This is going to be you and your shadows. So, who is the high priestess, or what does priestess energy look like? How do you know you may be beginning your initiation. So, priestess energy, it is not a label, it's not a title, it's not an aesthetic, it's not about how many followers, it's not about the rituals that you can say, but you don't necessarily practice here, okay? It is about a woman who lives in her sacredness, in her sacred devotion to her truth, to her body, and to just being of divine, as divine within, all right? Exuding divinity without, from within, without, as above, so below. This is the embodiment of the high priestess. She is both the oracle and the embodiment. She is the ritual and what is true and raw. She is going to be the seer and the sanctifier of her very own experiences. Okay. So, some of the core essence of priestess energy looks like she is someone who channels, she remembers, and she reclaims. All right, she's going to reclaim her energy. She's going to recall. She's going to be able to tap into energy that she doesn't necessarily know where it's coming from, but it's just it comes. It's initiated and it feels, it's a knowing. It's not a question mark, all right? It's a divine fact. It's a divine truth. You know this and you can say it with confidence here. She lives cyclically, not linearly, okay? Not from here to there, not from point A to point B. She knows that there is ups and downs. Things comes in that kind of wheel of fortune energy, all right? Fate, destiny, change, all of that kind of goes into play. All right. You also know priestess energy when she starts to protect her peace like it is a sacred flame. When you are starting to protect your peace like it is the most sacred thing, the core essence of you, you know you may be beginning your initiation into your priestesshood. Okay. Now she's going to also listen to her inner altar rather than her outer algorithm, okay? So the priestess energy is very intuitive, very mysterious, very alluring. She is someone who you want to get to know, but may be afraid to ask the deep questions. But she's going to automatically read you like a book. The priestess energy is just going to have a feeling. She's going to have those feelings, those dreams, those psychic nudges. She is going to be very in tune with what is universally aligned. Sorry, my camera cut due to storage. But priestess energy is also going to look like the woman who is rather more spiritually aligned rather than religiously aligned, whose moral systems go back to an ancient DNA etheric kind of coding rather than something that was systematically or patriarchally, is that a word? Taught. Okay, so this is going to be the type of woman. She doesn't just do the work here, right? She's going to become the work. She's going to become what it is that she knows that she has to teach, or she's going to become what it is that she knows that she's going to have to pay forward. She doesn't just worship power, she is power in communion with spirit. She knows that she is in co-creation. She is just as powerful in her knowing, in her being, in her essence, when she is in communion with spirit, when she is in communion with source, with the divine, with her ancestors, with spirit. Okay. Priestess energy, she doesn't need permission. She doesn't wait for validation. She stands between the seen and the unseen. She knows who she is there. This is priestess energy. So, a few signs that you may be embodying this priestess energy. So let's talk about what energetic sovereignty is and how reclaiming that and setting boundaries initiates looks like, what that looks like during initiation, for your initiation. When you have Lilith in Capricorn in the eighth house, you are almost automatically, your soul is being automatically initiated into a path of priestess. You are going to be an energy that you almost demand you demand inner authority, radical self-honesty, and energetic sovereignty. So, energetic sovereignty just simply means that you are no longer a vessel for other people's projections. You are no longer a puppet for other people's expectations. You, with this placement, have a very likely experience power struggles in relationships, with your own body, and maybe even with your own silence. But here, the truth is, Lilith teaches us that what was taken from you can now be reclaimed. For the energies that you sent out can now be called back. You can reclaim your power, your essence through your choices, your presence, or just your sacred boundaries. When you are truly initiated into your shadow, you have your shadow initiation, you are no longer worried about performance or perfection. You are no longer worried about what other people think. It is no longer an obsession to perform for people's validation or for to question what it is that you know or question what it is that you like to do. So, like I said, here are some signs that you may be walking in or embodying your energetic sovereignty. We know what that looks like, right? You no longer being a vessel for other people's projections, you being in or standing in your own power and knowing your own truth. You don't have to be deluded or gaslit by what other people are, their hurt or their experiences are. You understand where that is coming from because you're so mysterious, you're so intuitive, you're so psychic, you have an inner knowing, you have a divine connection from within as without here. So, some signs that you may be in your sovereign priestess frequency here, okay? So, like I said, you are no longer seeking approval before acting on your intuition. So, maybe in the past, you constantly needed external validation, you needed external confirmation, you needed other things to validate what it is that you were feeling. When you were getting certain downloads, you would question yourself, you would question on what you were feeling or what you were seeing or even what you were reading was not the truth, okay? But now you are learning to trust your downloads even if no one else sees the vision yet, okay? Another sign is that you withdraw with intention, not out of shame. When you enter into your priestess, sovereign priestess frequency, you are likely someone where solitude becomes sacred. You're not lonely. You like being alone. It's not sad. You are not isolating. You are incubating. You are trying to recreate, harness, save, it's like a power up, right? Like a repower up of your recalling back your energy, a power up of your energy, reclaim of your energy. When you start to embody this frequency, you learn to speak with truth without explaining, over explaining, or having trying to defend yourself. You understand that not everyone is meant to get you, and you're okay with that. You know that you are simply not digestible for the disembodied, meaning those who haven't embodied this sovereign priestess frequency. Another sign you may be another sign you may be embodying this sovereign priestess frequency is that you start to release people, places, platforms, clients, anything that drains you, okay? So anything that is no longer uplifting your frequency, adding value to your frequency, it's got to go. It's got to be cut. The cord has got to be cut because in your initiation, because of your initiation, a consequence of your initiation is that you are learning to value your own life force more than your likes. You don't need external validation. You are learning that within you are enough. You validate yourself. For self, you've been working on self. You understand, you have the inner knowing, you are connected more than most. So you're okay with sitting with yourself. If you can get quiet enough and sit with your own shadows, it's a big sign you are learning to embody your priestess energy. You are learning to embody your sovereign energy, your energetic sovereignty, keeping your energy for yourself. Okay, and the priestess energy is also one who is like almost unattainable. Like she's super attractive, she's super alluring, she's super mysterious. You want to get to know her, but she's like off in the, doing her own thing. And this is how like you ultimately attract a lot of people who are wanting to connect with you on a deeper level here, right? But this can also drain your energy if you're not selective with who has access to you, okay? Another sign that you are embodying your energetic sovereignty, you may begin to move a lot slower and a lot more intentional, like a lot deeper. So you are beginning to slow down, heal. You don't find yourself rushing through your healing, through your awakenings, through your journey, through your sadness, your grief, your mourning, your shadows. You don't allow yourself, you don't rush yourself when you are going through these phases, okay? Or if even you're just being creative, you're trying to get back into some type of creative, the way you express yourself. All right, you are learning to trust in the divine timing over the urgency. All right, so another sign that you may be embodying this sovereignty is that you don't betray yourself to keep connections alive. You have stopped trying to people please, all right? And you know that if love costs you your self respect, it's not really love. If love costs you your mental health, it's not really love. If love costs you your dignity, all right, your morals, it's not love. And you know that it's okay to leave. You know that it's okay to let it go, that it's time to let it go. And there is no need to hold on to it. There's no need to keep it. There's no need to dwell on it. Heal it. Take the time to feel all the feelings for it, but there's no reason to go back, okay? You may also find that you command the room without even having to raise your voice, all right? That you get all the attention in the room, or your presence speaks volumes before your words even do, okay? So the priestess energy, like I said, she's very, very mysterious. So there's something about you entering in your presence, you being known before you even speak, all right? It's like people already know that your energy demands a certain level of respect, and you're not to be played with, all right? This is how you know that you are starting to be very energetically sovereign. Now, a big, 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 big part of your energetic sovereignty is going to be your boundaries, your very sacred boundaries. And this is going to be something that is going to have to be a daily devotion. You're going to have to work on this. Like I said, this journey, these shadows, going through this, co-creating her, healing her, is going to be a lifelong journey, okay? So a part of being a sovereign woman and having that energetic sovereignty is going to be those boundaries. They're not just your protection, okay? They are priestess protocol, okay? This is going to be what preserves your essence. This is going to be what preserves you. Your boundaries are what is going to have to show up and show out for you, okay? So, ways that you may be expressing, or you can express your sacred boundaries, okay? So your energetic boundaries, you can stop, or you stop letting people vent in your field uninvited, okay? So you don't allow people to just come up and vent how they want, or trauma dump onto you how they want. You have put up a very strong energetic boundary where you don't allow people to occupy a space that you don't have the capacity for, to overfill you in a space you don't have the capacity for, okay? You may also find yourself cleansing your energy very daily with salt baths, smoke, or like breath work. You may find yourself integrating a lot more meditation, slowing down, like I said, saging the energies, or even just cleansing your energy with the salt. Another sign, you may really start to listen to your body. You may pay attention to how your body reacts before your mind has time to even rationalize it. Meaning, if my body tenses around you, I don't need a reason to step back, fall back, disappear. All right. If my body gets tense, if I get anxious, if I get those butterflies, I don't need a reason to say no, back up, get fall me. I don't need to get away from me. That is reason enough. That is explanation enough for me to create an energetic boundary. Now, next we're going to talk about some emotional boundaries, okay? Ways that you can express emotional sovereignty, energetic sovereignty, or you may already be doing this, okay? So you are no longer here to rescue people from their shadow or their shadow work. You don't have time for that. You have your own to do, okay? You have your own healing. We are healing, not healed. We are always healing, not healed. All right, so this is a journey. We're on a journey, y'all. So you start to realize that people have their own work to do. They have their own shadows to heal. They have their own demons to face, and you can't save everybody. And most of the time, these hoes don't want to be saved. They don't want to be saved. Don't save her. She don't want to be saved. All right. So you may also begin to have emotional boundaries when you don't shrink your joy in order to keep others comfortable. If you happy, if you excited, if you feel like something is good or going well for you, you're selective with who you share with, but you're not going to shrink who you are or how you feel to make other people comfortable. You may have done that in the past, but those tendencies are over. You are also going to begin to hold space, all right? You do not carry what is not yours. You don't have time to carry what is not yours. I can witness your pain without drowning in it. I can see what you're going through and empathize without immersing myself in your pain. Don't trauma dump. Energetic, emotional boundaries, all right? I can be here for you without being in, immersing myself in what you got going on, all right? I don't need to know every little detail. I'm going to love you. I'm going to support you from a little bit back here, okay? So you also want to get familiar or integrate your sexual and intimate boundaries. When you are standing as a sovereign woman, when you are standing in your energetic sovereignty, you can also initiate or express intimate and sexual boundaries. The way that you are doing this, or ways that you could start doing this, is that you do not tend to merge with someone who cannot merge spirits with you. All right. You are not going to merge your body, intertwine your body with someone who doesn't want to merge, intertwine their spirit, their soul with you. You have learned to let people earn emotional access through their presence rather than their performance. All right. So someone can simply perform the role, show up in the role, do the things, but not really be there, not really be intentionally present, not be present. Okay. You are also going to be someone who cleanses your womb, your space after intimacy, whether this is physically, spiritually, energetically, mentally. You understand that it is very important to clean your energy. You want something to be very sacred, all right? We already talked about sacred sex, all right? If you are embodying this energy, if you have these placements, everything is sacred. Everything is offering to the divine, all right? So everything is going to be very sacred. And when you not only cleanse your space, your house, your temple, you clean your space, your house, your temple, where your soul resides, right? So you realize that your body is not a reward. It's not a reward for any motherfucking body. It is a temple, all right? So you don't stumble, all right? You're not going to stumble. You're not going to stub it, all right? You ain't going to stunt its growth. You are here to initiate into it. Mm-hmm. Now, spiritual boundaries that you can express or you need to express. You are going to stop overgiving your light when it is not honored, okay? You understand that your light is very powerful. And if it's not honored, if it's not respected, if it's not appreciated, you're not going to allow your covering, your protection, your love, your giving to enmesh or merge with somebody who's not going to value that, right? So you're also going to go in a spiritual level. Your boundaries are going to you're gonna get to a point where you don't channel for everybody, or you understand that you can't channel for everybody. You can't read on everybody. You can't read for others, all right. You can't always read for others when you know that your cup is already full. You can't always be willing to, again, with the capacity, you can't be willing to integrate or emerge or enmesh what you know to be true, or the feelings and the things, the energy of someone else into you, when you know that that's very sacred and it's very hard. It's not everybody's not gonna have that. Everybody's not gonna have that capacity, all right? And then the healers need to heal, save their throat chakra, y'all. The healers need to save their energy for themselves here. Okay. So finally, you may also learn when your spiritual boundaries are integrated, your energy, that energy is keeping that sovereign energy, right? You're gonna learn to walk away. You're gonna learn that walking away is a spiritual it's a spiritual practice, especially from spiritual spaces that are just reek of ego, all right? And you're just gonna evolve past their popularity, all right? Knowing that what looks popular, what looks trendy, what looks like the aesthetic, the title, the trend of spirituality, you know that you are good without that. You don't need that to feel or to know that your gifts are authentic. You know that you don't have to stay where the divine is spoken of, not embodied. You know that you don't have to stay in a space where the divine is spoken of but not embodied. That's what I was saying before, okay? The spiritual community people can show up even in priesthood as an aesthetic, all right? As people show up as these shamans or these diviners or these oracles, these readers, not really embodying the frequency, not learning to embody the shadows, not learning to not understanding the initiation. I remember my first shadow initiation. I remember doing a personal reading, realizing that it was a personal initiation. And I also realized that when I do, sometimes when I record certain downloads, a big way I can tell that it is a personal message is that it doesn't get a lot of viewership. I know that's very like, algorithm and stuff, but like I was saying, it's an inner knowing. I don't need the validation from the algorithm. I can understand and I can pick up the hint that there's some things that aren't always meant to share, right? But as you go through this journey, understand that there are certain messages that are going to be for you, and then there are going to be certain messages that are going to be for the collective, okay? But you want to be around people who are going to embody the authenticity, the divine truth, the divine righteousness, standing 10 toes down in energetic sovereignty. In a world that is often obsessed again with the perfectionism and the performance, the priestess energy is going to return to her true devotion. She wakes before the world to anoint herself with intention. She weeps without shame. She listens without fear. Devotion is a discipline for her. Her depth is her compass. With the Lilith, with a shadow initiation, it isn't about appearing powerful. It's about becoming the woman who no longer seeks permission to exist. This is your initiation. This is your initiation into your shadow. You are being called to sit in your truth, to stand in your truth, to unbind your power from shame, from guilt, from fear, to rise, not as a show, not as a performance, but as a sacred act of remembering who the fuck you are. You are the altar. You are the offering. You are the priestess. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you made it to this point, if you made it to this point in the video, go ahead and drop me a comment, a like, a share, subscribe. Go ahead and hit that post notification bell so that you know every time I post. Drop me a comment. Let me know if you are claiming, say, I claim my sovereign energy, all right? I am energetically sovereign, however you want to say it. Let me know that you made it to this point. I appreciate you guys for tapping in with me. So co-creators and Ethereans, I will catch you guys in the next video. Until then, peace. Oh, I also want to say, make sure you guys check out the description box or the the bio or the description box, where you can get links to the website if you guys want more links into your shadow, working on your shadow self, more integration into the Lilith and Capricorn and 8th house energies. A lot of this energy is going to be talking about moving through those shadows. We are doing a lot of deep shadow work. So if you are someone who is ready to get deep into their shadows, if you're someone who's not afraid to get triggered, okay? So over here, you may just get triggered. Go ahead and follow me, all right? Go ahead and check out the other links. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.